One of the things that I think is a common misnomer is, and I think it's a question that comes all the time, how do you know you have product market fit? And I don't think that's actually the best question. I think what's really important is, what is the process? How are you going to go about learning how you're going to get product market fit? Because product market fit is hard work, it's intelligence, it's luck. You can't control everything there. But the process you go through in figuring out how to get a product market fit for a B2B company, I think is something that can be done. And you can't dictate the outcome, but you can dictate the process.
When we were doing it for Harness, we'll do these calls with customers. After every call, we'll do like okay, what worked, what didn't work in that call? And do we need to change our message? Do we need to change our positioning, how we talk about it? And by about 30, 35, you start hearing the same things. And then you can slow it down. You can still have another 10, 15 if you want at that point. And if you're still not hearing the same things, you don't have a consistency of the personas and the ICP and your messaging at that time, you still haven't really figured out the foundation of your product market fit. And it's a waste of time to build out the product without getting that.
Right. The thing of getting customers and happy customers and retaining them. How when you've raised a bunch of money, but don't have growth in customers and then lose conviction yourself, that is just like this kind of the worst, because there's this huge gap between like the money and I should be successful and we should be growing and oh shoot, we're not. Like there isn't product market fit. Fundamentally, when no one wants your stuff, that just isn't fun either. And so had a bunch of prior experience and kind of failure by many senses of the term that made me really stringent about product market fit for Vanta or for a startup. But what it looked like was basically a 6-month process that started with really open-ended questions, moved to like spreadsheet prototypes, and then moved to prototypes that we told people were generated with code that were written by hand. Right? And then at the end of the 6 months started coding, and it was realized we could build kind of whatever thing we wanted, but that didn't mean people wanted it, right? And so just front-loaded all of this exploration and testing and iteration so that when we did start writing code, hopefully it was like the right code toward a problem that, was actually real and resonant and folks would pay for their time and money.
If you're frustrated by that, and if you don't know if you have it and you want the metrics, you want the answer, you probably just don't have it. Because a month into Jasper, I was like, oh, that's what that meant. This is absolutely what it feels like to be just pulled by the market so much faster.
We started to build a very simple prototype. But the idea was to show this is what it would look like. And I thought it was really important that when we have those interviews, that I wanted to be sitting across from someone. And I wanted to see the subtlety when they would light up or when they winced. But you're trying to get, is there an emotional response? I think that's particularly important on the consumer side of a product. And it was very clear when we showed people the map, they lit up, they got it, like they understood the whole thing. And then once we were starting to hear the same things again and again, we started to say, okay, we think we have something here. But again, we're just talking about it theoretically. Let's build a very simple prototype. And I think one of the important things is that a lot of times as product builders, we want to build the whole thing. We're so excited about all the things that are possible. And I think one of the things that we got very right at this point is that we tried to reduce the prototype to isolate a variable and test the simple hypothesis, which was if we could get a group of neighbors together on a platform, would they have anything to talk about? And if the answer to that was no, nothing else mattered. It didn't matter if we could draw the neighborhood boundaries, that we could verify people's addresses, that we could figure out how you could invite more people to the platform, all the notifications, the mobile app, all those things that were going to be really a lot of work to build would not matter if it turned out that neighbors didn't have anything to talk about.
The way I think about building products and the way I think about product market fit is that people should be willing to give up certain features with their existing provider. Your service needs to be so critical to whatever it is they're trying to achieve that they're going to give up with that excellent customer service or that extra flexibility they have to use you. And that's how I always defined product market fit. It's amazing how people don't think that way, where they think, oh, we can just force it. We can just force it, right? And we just give great customer experience and that's going to be our differentiation. That doesn't scale. And what you find is you might hire some great people and you close some big deals, and then your growth kind of slows and you're like, oh crap.